Okay, number 13 now on the next page. Find the length of each arc. Okay, so for 13, 14, 15, and 16, we're going to be doing this formula. Arc length is equal to theta over 360. So theta is my angle, my degrees, times 2 pi r. Now if you're like, how can I remember that? This is circumference. You just have to know that. I don't know how you're going to remember that. You have to know it. But if you can remember what arc length means, arc length is part of the whole circumference, right? So I'm wondering what is part of that circumference. So I use the formula for this ratio of angles times the whole circumference, which is 2 pi r. Okay? So let's plug it in and solve. Arc length here is going to equal theta, so that's 315 over 360 times 2 pi r, so 2 pi times 12. Okay, you can do this a couple ways here. So what I usually do is I just simplify so I can have some nice numbers. You don't really have to, but you do want your answer to be in a fraction, not a decimal. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify this 315 over 360, which would become 7 over 8. Okay, remember you can use your calculator for that, it's fine. Times, and then I can go ahead and multiply those. So that's going to become 24 pi. Remember to leave your answer in terms of pi. And then all you have to do is take that fraction that you typed in your calculator, so it's 7 over 8, multiply it by 24. And we get 21 pi as our arc length, which would be in kilometers. Okay? That make sense? I sure hope so. And I'll go ahead and do 15 while I'm on here. Okay, so I don't have too many videos. It's a little bit different. You're using the same formula, but now, what are we solving for? The radius. That's right, class. So I need to plug in what I know and then work backwards. So arc length is 75 pi over 4, and then equals, right, I'm just plugging and chugging, 225 over 360 times 2 pi r, because I don't know my radius, so the whole goal right now is to isolate this variable. Okay, so again, a couple different ways you can go from here. To make this a little easier to work with, I'm going to simplify this fraction because I know how to do that on my calculator because Miss Coffee showed me and I'm so good at it and I'm so smart. So that becomes 5/8 times 2 pi r equals 75 pi over 4. I'm going to go ahead and keep simplifying this side before I move that over. So this 2, this is like 2 over 1. So I multiply the 2 on the top with the 5. So that's going to become, let me go up here, that's going to become 10 pi, and then on the bottom it's just 8. Okay, you're not multiplying the 2 by the 8, you multiply it by the 5. And then you have this r here that you're still trying to find. Right, but I have to bring down the rest of my equation. So let me move this over perhaps. Oh, not that though. Okay, because I need 75 pi over 4 is equal to that. Okay, something that we probably should have done at the very beginning is notice that on both sides, the left and the right, we have pi. So if I divide both sides by pi, it's going to cancel out, which makes my life happy. Now I have a 75 over 4 equals 10 pi over 8 times r. So to get rid of the 10 over 8, okay, let me get rid of my pi. Just going to get rid of it like that because technology is great. So to get rid of 10 over 8, this fraction here, we multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, that's the easiest way that I can explain. Okay, if you want to take that step by step and multiply by 8 and then divide by 10, that's fine. But I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal, which cancels that out. And then over here, I'm going to have 8 over 10. Okay, so you take that lovely fraction, 75 over 4, and you're going to multiply by 8 over 10. Okay, and I would make sure you have, if you're doing all this on your calculator, don't forget your parentheses, because I don't want you to mess up, silly mistake there. So that's simply 15, I think, centimeters, right? And that's my radius, okay? So you can type those fractions in your calculator, or if you prefer, if you don't like fractions and typing that in, you can do on the numerator 8 times 75, which is 600, and on the denominator 10 times 4 is 40. And then that will simplify. If you type that in, 600 divided by 40 is 15. Okay, so the radius is 15. And that was a little challenging, but you're just working backwards. So 16, whenever you get to that, well, I'm not doing that for you because you can do it. It's the same as 15, but instead of solving for the radius r, you're solving for theta. But you're still plugging it in, still working backwards. Okay, go geniuses, go.